Very much for joining us for our workshop today titled Make Your Website Work for You, designed to help you improve your business's website. I'm going to start by introducing myself. I'm Jose Luis Barajas. I'm the program analyst with the Building Business Back program, helping Monterey County businesses access the resources they need to recover and grow. We serve all businesses in Monterey County with an emphasis on those that are owned by women, operated by women, minorities, and or the LGBTQ plus community. I'm so excited that you're here with us today. For those of you who don't know about Grow with Google, it's an initiative that helps people prepare to work, find jobs, and to grow their businesses using Google's tools. Today, you're going to learn how to create a website that drives user action and supports your business's goals. Whether you're launching a new website or sprucing up an old one, this workshop is going to help you get the most out of your website. Let's go ahead and get started. So, a website is a very important component of every brand's online marketing strategy. In fact, it's one of the many touch points that influences a shopper's uh, making purchase decisions. But in order to help marketing your products and services, the website has to deliver a great user experience immediately. According to statistics compiled by Forbes Advisor, a website visitors form an opinion about a website in 0.05 seconds. People are clearly impatient. 47% of users won't wait longer than 2 seconds for a website to load. Never has the expression, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, seem more appropriate. Forbes Advisor shared another statistic stating that a whopping 88% of online users won't return to a website after a bad experience. This workshop will show you ways to create or update your website and offer a positive user experience, one that's easy to navigate, convenient, and trustworthy. So we're talking about websites today. Let's start by reviewing the basics of web design. When people hear web design, they often think of the graphic design, the website's look and feel. The look and feel is just one component of web design. Within the graphic template, there are lots of common elements that appear on most websites, including the header or top section of the site. The header usually includes a company logo in the left corner. Most website visitors expect that the logo will link to a homepage. The footer, or the bottom section of the website, the footer usually links important links, contact information, and copyright information. And the navigation, usually horizontally across the top of the site or vertically on the left side of the site. Effective websites follow guidelines to keep web pages consistent. Colors, fonts, sizes, font styles, types of content, etc. Some sites are designed and built from scratch, while many sites use a content management system or CMS. Most CMS options include web-based tools that allow you to easily build, customize, and update your website. There are options out there, and they're all a little bit different. For example, there's Shopify, Wix, and Google Sites, just to name a few. If you're just getting started, we recommend that you try a few and find the CMS that you are most comfortable working with. But whether you're building a website from scratch or using a CMS, all the principles from today's workshop will apply. So today's presentation will look at 5 characteristics of a great website. A website is not all about an eye-catching design. A great site is goal-oriented. Will your site grow your business? Is it search-friendly? Can search engines find your website? It offers an easy and convenient experience for your customers. Is it easy to use your site on all devices? Has pages and content that have organized and intuitive to navigate? Is your site simple to navigate and works to gain a customer's trust? Does your website protect your customers? All right, so let's start by talking about why your website should be goal-oriented. It's not enough just to have a website because everyone else has one or because you've been told you should have one. A great website has specific goals, both short-term and long-term. If you factor in these goals as you create and refine your site, it can help your business now and in the future as your business grows. Start by asking yourself, why do I want a website? What are you trying to do? What are your goals? Your site can have all kinds of goals. Make sales may be an obvious choice, but think about the other ways a site can help your business. It could help build your brand by establishing a look and feel that resonates with the customers you're trying to reach. It could generate leads by hooking a potential customer's attention and prompting them to contact you. It could also help you re-engage existing customers, reminding them why they bought from you in the first place, offering related products, or letting them know you've expanded your products or services. A site might help you attract new employees, or you might use your site to assist with computer customer support, answering frequently asked questions. All right, so who is your audience? To develop useful goals, put yourself in the shoes of your audience. Who is your website for? How do they think? How do they act? And how do they live? It's relatively easy to find the audience with demographic data like gender, age, and employment status. But don't stop there. Ask yourself, what makes my audience unique? Your goal is to develop a more complete picture of your audience, customer persona. For example, examine specific age ranges rather than one wide age range. Consider their location. Are they located in the city, in the suburbs? Are they in a rural area, etc.? Consider their education level, their employment, their hobbies and interests and values. You might also consider their view of your product or service. Is it a necessity? Is it something that's nice to have? Or is your product or service a special treat? An understanding of your audience can influence everything on your site, from the graphic design to the words on the pages themselves. It might be tempting to consider a broad audience. For example, everyone likes ice cream, right? But it's more useful to narrow it on the audience you really want. Even though everyone loves ice cream, the gourmet ice cream shop may specifically want to reach trendy foodies who are willing to spend more money for locally sourced organic ice cream. If that's the type of products you sell, you'd want your website to communicate to the foodies who are your most likely your customers. Now that you're thinking about your target audience, think about how you can use your website to communicate your marketing messages to them and support your business's goals. Everything you do on your website should support your goals. One useful way to create a meaningful goals is to use the SMART framework. SMART stands for a number of different things. So S is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Is the goal specific and detailed? How will you measure it? Is the goal realistically attainable? Is the goal relevant to your business? Will this help you reach your business goals? And time bound. Set a time frame for achieving this goal. Let's add another consideration to the mix: tracking and measuring success. If you don't track and measure your website's performance, you won't have a way to make improvements. Well, improvements based on data, that is. There's another way to think about it. Let's say you made some modifications to your bicycle to make it go faster. If you don't know your maximum speed before modifications, how are you going to know if it works? Similarly, you need to track and measure online success so you know what kind of improvements you need to make. If there are a lot of ways to do it, some more accurate than others. You can start by simply asking customers how they found you. You can ask when they call you on the phone, visit your store, or when you answer by email. You can also get more precise. For example, you can set up a trackable phone number. If you advertise with Google, you can use a free call tracking, which records every time your ad results in a phone call. You can track the number of emails and form submissions on your site. If you have an e-commerce site, you can also track sales. And if you also use web analytics software like Google Analytics to understand visitor behavior on your site. Google Analytics is a free tool that can help track and measure your goals. It helps you better understand your audience and their activity on your websites and mobile apps. This information is going to help you make more strategic decisions for your business. If you're feeling lost when it comes to goal setting, it might help to put yourself in the shoes of a customer and try to understand what they would be looking for on your website. But you don't have to guess. Google Analytics can help answer many of these questions. You can use Google Analytics reports to better understand your audience and what they're doing when they get to your website. Here are a few of the audience insights you can get. What are some of your highest sources of traffic? What content on your website attracts the most visitors? What keeps them on the site longer? What are some key demographics of your site visitors? Which channels drive the most conversations? Search results, paid ads, social media posts, email newsletters. In order to set up a Google Analytics account for a website or application, visit g.co/analytics. Then you'll start by either creating a new account or signing into an existing analytics account. There are a number of ways you can add Google Analytics. If you edit the HTML on your website, you can add tracking code directly. Many content management systems include ways to add Google Analytics without tracking code. You can get more information at g.co/grow/platforms. In Google Analytics, reports are organized as follows. There's a report snapshot, a real-time report with what's happening right now, and report collections and topics. Let's break down some of this terminology. A collection is a set of reports. Lifecycle and user are predefined collections that appear in the report navigation by default. Topics refers to the individual reports within a collection. For example, acquisition is a report, it's a topic within the lifecycle collection. You can find 4 report types under the lifecycle collection. Acquisition, this is the sources, mediums, and campaigns through which you acquire users. There's engagement. This is user engagement by events, pages, and screens. Then there's also monetization, revenue you might earn. Retention, retention by new and returning users. Cohorts, where a cohort is a group of people banded together or treated as a group. And lifetime value. The user collection contains the following topics. It contains demographics to learn about the users and tech to learn about the technologies used to access your site or application. Google has a lot of information about how to use analytics. For now, just remember that analytics is the tool you need to measure the success of the goals that you set for your business website. Now that we've covered the goals, let's switch gears and talk about making your website a little bit more search friendly. Today, there are billions of Google searches each and every single day. And each time one of these searches connects a person to your website, you have an opportunity to make a sale. To help you understand how to make your site more search friendly, let's look at a Google search results page. It's probably a little familiar to you, but we'll break it down into sections. At the top, you see a word phrase or question that's in the searcher typed in. That's called a search query. Below the search query, you see the search results. This example shows a text ad at the top of the results, clearly labeled. Underneath the ad is the start of the search results. Creating a search-friendly site helps increase your chances of appearing in this area. Search results include sites that Google's algorithm has identified as relevant and useful matches for the search query. When we talk about making your site search friendly, we mean improving the chances of it appearing and appearing higher in the search results. Click on links in the search results are free. Websites can't pay Google to appear here, and advertising doesn't influence a website's presence or position. There's one more section to review. On the right side of the page is a Google Business Profile. Business profiles are available to local businesses with storefronts or service areas. The process of helping a website increase its visibility on search engines is called search engine optimization, or SEO. You can hire a company or consultant to improve your website's SEO, but there are plenty of things you can do on your own to improve your site's visibility in the search results. First, make your website faster. A website's load time is important, especially for mobile devices. Websites that load faster often see reduced bounce rates and improved conversion rates. In other words, customers stay on your website longer and tend to make more purchases. Next, you can help your site be more search friendly by publishing original content that's useful, clear, and accurate. Include keywords consumers would search for to find your site and make sure that your web pages are actually include these words. For example, if you have a pizza shop, make sure that that's everywhere within your website and everywhere in your marketing material, both graphically and within the captions. Search-friendly sites also include links, either to other relevant places within your site or to other websites that publish high-quality information. And third, use text on your website to anchor your links whenever possible, including relevant keywords as part of the link. Descriptive page titles and accurate page descriptions can also make your site more search-friendly. They should be unique to each page. Many content management systems allow you to add them. Next, organization. The way that your site is organized is known as information architecture. Logical information architecture helps visitors find the information they're looking for, and it helps search engines too. How? Thoughtful organizations helps Google more easily understand what your website is about, including what information is most important. Finally, remember to design your website in a way that works for all browsers and devices. About half of your visitors will be viewing your site from smartphones. If they have trouble using your website, they may choose not to return. Another free tool from Google that can help you monitor, maintain, and troubleshoot your site's presence in Google search results is Google Search Console. So, what is Google Search Console? It's a no-cost tool designed to help you improve your site's performance in Google search results. It's used to be called Webmaster Tools. You may remember that if you've had a website for a long time. Important note, you don't have to sign up for Google Search Console to be included in Google search results, but this tool helps you understand and improve how Google sees your website. As a small business owner, you may not dive deep into the technical details Search Console reports, but it can help you understand how and why you need to make some improvements. Search Console tools and reports can help you in a variety of ways, including confirming that Google can find and access your website. This is also known as crawling. Fixing indexing problems and allowing you to request re-indexing of new or updated content. Indexing means including pages in Google's index that's required to show up in search results. Showing Google search traffic data for your site, for example, how often your site appears in Google search, which search queries show your site, and how often searchers click through for those search queries. Allowing you to sign up for alerts if Google encounters issue on your site, and helping you troubleshoot issues for mobile usability. To sign up for a free Search Console account, start by visiting g.co/Search Console. You'll need to add a website property to your account and verify your ownership. You can create a property that includes an entire domain, for example, .com, or a property that's limited to a single branch of your website, for example, yourbusiness.com/clothing. Once verification is complete, your account will be ready and it will start collecting data for these reports. Now that we've talked about goals and organization, the next thing that you need to consider is how visitors experience your website, no matter what device they're using. You want to create a website that's intuitive and convenient for customers to use. Your first goal is to make it easier for people to use your website on a small screen. Let's talk about 6 ways you can make your website easier to use and more convenient for customers. First, use a responsive design. This means that your website layout responds to the device being used, a fluid design that adapts to the screen size. The goal is to make it just as easy to use a website on a phone as on a computer or desktop. As you build or rebuild your website, try a mobile-first approach. Instead of testing your site on a desktop computer, start by testing it on a phone. For example, navigation is critically important. Design your site to allow plenty of space for users to tap on links. Think of a mobile visitor trying to navigate. If your site includes a call to action, make it tappable, linking visitors directly to the content they want to access. This is a little technical, but worth discussing if you're a website designer. Um, if you're using vector graphics, those graphics frequently end in .ai or .eps or .svg. Vector graphics don't get distorted when you change their size. The other type of graphics are raster graphics. Their common endings are .jpg, GIF, and .png. Raster graphics are created using pixels. They can get distorted when they change size. When it comes to design, less is more. A clean, minimalist design may make it easier for visitors to complete actions on your website. Last but not least, design a website for everyone. Follow accessibility standards so people with disabilities who may use assistive technology can more readily access your web pages. When you have a moment, try a brief activity. If you have a phone handy, search for your own website or a site that you use a lot on a computer. How quickly did it load? How does it look? Try to navigate around, and is it difficult to do? And if this is your website, start making a list of potential improvements for a mobile site visitors. Second, you want to make it easy to buy stuff on your site. How many of you have ever visited a website, tried to buy something, you got stumped during the checkout and you just failed? A difficult checkout process can have major impact on a site's conversion rate. Here's some things you can do to make it easier for visitors to complete purchases on your website. First, you can reduce the number of steps in the checkout process. Sometimes less is more. Second, show a visitor their progress as they move through checkout. This lets them know what they have left to do and when they're almost done. Offer guest checkout for visitors who don't want to create accounts to make a purchase. Here's a tip. After their transaction is complete, you might offer them the option to create an account for the next time and give people their choices. Offer multiple payment options and digital wallets such as Google Pay, Apple Pay, and Amazon Pay. Next, you want to make it easy for customers to find and buy other things they need, even if they don't know they need it yet. If implemented well, related product recommendations will encourage customers to add more products to their shopping carts. Talk to your web developer about ways to add related product recommendations to your website. Recommendations might be based on a customer's online purchase history, the products they have viewed, or products that complement the items in their shopping cart. For example, if someone added a jar of jam to their cart, the website might suggest a specially sized jam spoon, which would be a nice touch for a gift. If you sell a product that requires separate components, for example, when batteries are sold separately, this is another opportune moment to recommend adding an additional product to the shopping cart. Your goal is to make it convenient for customers to find everything they need on your site without extra effort. Finally, you want to try to find ways to make shopping more convenient online and offline. For example, many restaurants now offer curbside pickup and let people know about it on their websites. E-commerce sites may offer multiple delivery options or free shipping with a minimum order. And service providers might offer virtual options, allowing customers to be the customers from their convenience of their own homes. And there are just a few general ideas to consider as you design a new website that meets the needs of your customers. Let's throw in one bonus tip. Did you know that there's a way to see how your website looks on different devices from your desktop computer? You'll need to open your site in a Chrome browser, then right-click on the web page and click Inspect. This takes you into Chrome Developer Tools. You'll see the visible web page on the left side of the screen and the HTML code on the right-hand side. This allows you to inspect elements on your web page, including, you guessed it, how it looks on different devices. Above the HTML code, there is a small icon that shows a screen overlaid by a mobile screen. See it right there. You can change the size of the visible screen by entering dimensions, smartphone, and type, and more. Now, let's talk about the information within the website. A great website has lots of useful, relevant content that helps people find what they're looking for. Even if you don't have a lot of web pages now, your site will probably grow over time. As it does, it's important to keep it well organized. Planning how new content fits into the framework of your website can help set it up for success. First, you want to start with a plan. Information architecture, or IA, sounds technical, but you don't need to be a website designer, programmer, or architect to create one. Simply put, it's a plan to organize information on your site. The IA maps out the sections, pages, and functionality of your website. The goal is to help people find information they're looking for and to complete tasks. To do this, you need to understand how the pieces of your website fit together to create the larger picture, how items relate to one another. There are several pages and sections found on most sites, including the home page, an About Us page or section, and a contact page. Depending on your business, you will probably include a products or services section too. There's no one right way to organize a site, but you may find it useful to review the business goals you wrote down earlier in this workshop. Keep some of these goals top of mind as you create your plan. Now let's cover a few last tips for organizing your website. Before you map out your main navigation and gather content, consider which pages you will need to be included on your website. Go ahead and make a list. Give each page on this list a clear call to action. For example, the web page shown on this slide invites visitors to shop new releases. A good call to action describes the action you'd like visitors to take, like signing up for a membership, subscribing to an email newsletter, adding a product to the shopping cart. Here's another way that you can think about it. There shouldn't be any dead ends. Visitors shouldn't get to the bottom of a web page and have to make a conscious decision about where to go or what to do next. Visual elements can help sighted visitors notice important information and cue them to take further action. Be consistent. If visuals and text are inconsistent, it can be difficult for visitors to get the hang of using your website. Finally, optimize your website's navigation. Navigation should be intuitive. Many websites include a site search feature to help customers find items within your website too. As your site is growing and you have your base content, you will be thinking about adding additional content. And how do you get more content ideas? You can enter Google Trends. You can get there by visiting g.co/trends. It's another free tool that you can use to understand the relative popularity of keywords over time. You can access a largely unfiltered sample of actual Google searches. The data is anonymous, so no person will be identified. It's categorized, which means each search is assigned a topic, and it's aggregated, means it's grouped. So this allows trends to display interest in a particular topic from around the globe or down to a city level geography. You can use it to research keyword popularity and incorporate important keywords into your website content. Okay, so how can you use Google Trends to research content for your website? Well, here's some ideas. First, you can compare words and phrases to see which are searched more often. For example, company Trade Street Jam might be curious to see how the search for jam compares to the search for jelly. It's pretty interesting to see the results shown here from a search conducted in November 2023. If you set trends to show data for web searches in the United States, 2004 to present, in all categories, It shows that people are searching for the word jam. That's great. But if you scroll down to related topics and to related queries, the top results appear to be related to movies and games, not food. If you set the category to food and drink, it changes things. The graph starts to look different for starters. Now you see a regular seasonal spike every July and December. If you dig into that, you might be able to get some ideas for adding popular, relevant content. Maybe it's a new recipe section focused on summer fruit jams or spiced cranberry holiday jam. Okay, now let's add one more layer to the mix. With trends, you can compare search terms too. If you add the word jelly, you will see its relative popularity compared to the word jam. You can see that the word jelly is more popular in certain states. That could be really helpful if you're advertising. This information may or may not give you ideas for new content, but it definitely suggests that using the word jelly on your website may help Google connect your website with more searchers who want to find the products that you sell. Let's throw in one bonus tip. Have you ever clicked on a link and ended up at a broken web page? Sometimes it'll say error 404 or page not found. Well, that's the default page when a link takes a person to a URL of a page that doesn't exist on the website. Usually, you don't have any broken link. You don't want any having broken links. But what if someone manually entered a URL incorrectly? You can use this error page, this 404 page, to your advantage. Having a custom 404 page that kindly guides users back to a working page on your site can greatly improve a user's experience. You should consider adding a link back to the homepage or links to popular content on your website. If you build your own website, check your website builder's help options or support section for instructions on customizing your 404 page. Before engaging with a website, people want to know that it's safe to use, especially if they're going to be sharing confidential information like credit card numbers. That's why it's important to make sure to reassure customers that you take their privacy seriously and have a trustworthy site. The next time you're online paying a bill or placing an order, take a look at the web address at the top of the page. You'll likely notice a padlock symbol at the beginning of the URL. You might also notice that the address begins with HTTPS instead of HTTP. Both these things indicate that you're on a secure website. So, how do you provide that security for your website's visitors? First, you're going to need an SSL certificate. Briefly, Secure Socket Layer Technology, SSL, encrypts data so that it can't be stolen by hackers. Many customers who are used to shopping online will know to look for signs that your site has an SSL certificate before even buying anything. You can't get an SSL through Google. You'll need to get it through your web hosting provider or a certificate authority, also known as a CA. Let's back up just a minute. When you're on a web page, the browser you're using is constantly commuting with a web server. That's how you're online. But as information is being transmitted back and forth between the server and the browser, it has the potential to be intercepted by hackers. An SSL certificate signals to the browser that it should make the connection to the server secure and private so there's no opportunity for someone else to access the information that's being shared. Savvy consumers know to look for the padlock or the HTTPS before making a purchase or sharing sensitive information. It's in your best interest to offer them this security on your website. Your web host or web hosting provider may be able to issue an SSL certificate and renew it periodically. If that's not the case, you'll need to work with a certificate authority directly to obtain one. There's many providers, including the nonprofit Let's Encrypt, which is a free, automated, and open certificate authority provided by the Internet Security Research Group, also known as ISRG. Next up, let's talk about secure payments. You have Google Pay. If your website includes an e-commerce component, you'll want to ensure that payments are secure. To do that, you'll need to create a merchant account with a payment gateway. A payment gateway, also known as a payment processor, does exactly what it says. It serves as a liaison between your business and your customers by safeguarding financial information. Google Pay is an option like PayPal or Amazon Pay and Apple Pay that allows customers to use a secure payment method they're familiar with and trust when checking out on your website. Rather than entering their information directly on your website, they log into Google Pay with their Google account and password and select any of the payment methods that they've saved there. Their payment information is stored securely and only the information needed for each transaction is shared, which reduces the risk and exposure to fraud for the customer. It's also faster than typing in detailed payment information every time you want to buy something. Google Pay is free for both you and your customers, and you can have it up and running on your website in under a week. To learn more and access Google Pay for Business, visit pay.google.com/about us/business. Let's add three final tips for building a trustworthy website. Another way to build brand trust with customers is to have good, authentic customer reviews. Consumers are savvy and won't just take your word for it that your products or services are 5-star. They want to hear from real people who have done business with you, used your products and services, and want to share their experiences. Encourage satisfied customers to spread the word online, including on your business profile on Google. Embedding reviews on your website is another great way to put that feedback front and center for potential customers. Some review sites even offer widgets to help you do this regularly, such as Yelp. Encourage feedback from customers by making your contact information easy to find throughout your website, including your location, phone number, and email address. All right, so we've covered a lot of information today. Let's do a brief recap. In today's presentation, we reviewed some characteristics of a great website. We learned that a great website is goal-oriented and helps your business grow. A great website is search-friendly, so people can find your products and services when they are looking for them online. A great website offers an easy and convenient experience for customers on all devices. A great website has pages and content that are organized and intuitive to navigate. And lastly, a great website earns a customer's trust with the secure certificate payment options, contact information, and endorsements from other customers who leave ratings and reviews. If you enjoyed video lessons, you can subscribe to the Grow with Google YouTube channel at youtube.com/growwithgoogle. This channel regularly publishes new videos covering topics that can help you grow your skills, careers, and your business. If you're looking to start a new career and land a competitively paid job or build your skills to grow in your career, check out Google Career Certificates. It is also helpful for employers if you want to upskill your existing employees. Google Career Certificates can give you a path to an in-demand job with the top employers that are currently hiring. You can earn a certificate and prepare for a new career in a high growth field in under 6 months, even if you don't have relevant experience. You can learn at your own pace and complete the online program on your own terms. There are certificates available for cybersecurity, data analytics, advanced data analytics, business intelligence, digital marketing and e-commerce, IT support, IT automation with Python, project management, and user experience design. You can get started at grow.google/certificates. Grow with Google is an initiative to help people prepare for work, find jobs, and grow their business. For job seekers, can grow their skills in order to find their new jobs and advance their careers. Teachers can learn how to put the latest technology to work inside and outside of the classroom. Small business owners can build their online presence and find new customers. Startups can learn how to get their ideas the exposure they need to succeed, and developers can sharpen their current skills and master new ones. To learn more, visit google.com/grow. And with that, thank you so much for attending today's workshop. We'd like to thank the County of Monterey for dedicated funding to helping local businesses recover and grow from the COVID-19 pandemic. We are truly value your feedback. If you would like to take a moment to share your thoughts, we'd appreciate it. You can access the survey at g.co/grow/feedback or by using your mobile phone's camera to scan the QR code on this slide. You can click the banner that appears to access the survey. Thank you once again.